giant hand, you know. People come from miles around to stare at that hand sticking up from the ground. Strange things and mysteries, dark magic and goblin greed. Heroes come to find glory, and this right here is one such story. Qeris, Diendo, Cool Cat and Lee, Kokomasa, Carrocon and Ali, Samson, Jothem and Linnell, Femia, Krung and Gwendiel. Champions will be named, ancient blood will spill. In the town of Whitesparrow, it's total party kill.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. We are continuing one of our mini adventures from the collection of fantastic adventures put out by FlyFlourish.com. We are playing A Gleam in the King's Eye. This is our continued adventures with a group we are about to meet. They are just about to start a fight with, sentient wine. Normal stuff, Saturdays, But before we fight this sentient wine, allow me to introduce our players in not quite initiative order, but an order that I have them listed here on my screen that I will later sort into initiative order. First up, it's Glenn Fleischman. Glenn, who are you playing?
I am playing Carrocon the Wise, a long-toothed sorcerer with tendencies that seem to relate to liking things that are shiny, maybe made of tin, and washing his hands a lot.
Next up, it's Jason Snell.
Hey there, we're starting with the animals first. I am playing Cool Cat, who is that's with a K. It's totally different. It's a Baxi Bard, and he likes the bagpipes, and he also has like weapons and things now that aren't boomerangs.
Also joining us, it is James Thompson.
I play Samson Jothem, master of pandas, a gnome artificer, and who is currently regretting picking a fire-based weapon.
Also joining us, a long-standing, perhaps more episodes of Total Party Kill than anyone else, I'm not sure. It's Erica Ensign.
I don't think so. I didn't join until episode 48.
We threw out all the old ones. There are no records.
Okay. Well, this time I am playing Reid-Quarrell Kilgarriff. I am a human cleric to the god Kelimvor, the comforting god of death.
Very nice. Also joining us, also from Canada, it's Annette Weirster. Hi, Annette.
Hey there. I am playing Chomasa, a dragonborn ranger who has 2 swords, but does not pray enough to the dice gods and doesn't really know how to use them. But it's going to be different.
Hey, you're not poisoned this time.
Yes,
yeah.
And it's going to be different.
Last but not least, everybody's favorite Monty Ashley.
Hi there, it's me, Monty. I am playing Krong, a bugbear rogue who has been raised to believe he is a nightmare monster because he is a nightmare monster.
Take
Raising
that.
him right.
I just, also my introduction at you, a slight dig at Western Massachusetts radio personality Monty Belmonte. He seems great. Also, his name is Monty Belmonte, which is pretty good. But, he's still second.
I don't like how much of my segment this Monty Belmonte got.
There are no rules here. So, in our adventure, A Gleam in the King's Eye, you have won the Tournament of Champions, where you defeated in non-lethal combat the Brown Mead Adventuring Company. You had a lovely dinner with the Lord of Whitesparrow, one Lord Marlon Whitesparrow, who kind of talked up the fact that beneath his keep there are some sealed off catacombs, and he is particularly interested in a long lost, or maybe not lost so much as entombed, crown of the first Lord of Whitesparrow, who was a true king. He wants that crown, and he thinks you might be just the adventurers to help him brave the dangers of these sealed up catacombs. You have traveled through the basement. You have reached the some ancient sealed up a wine cellar. So you go basement, cellar, catacombs. That's your hierarchy of caverns, I think. Unfortunately, some strange things are happening in this wine cellar. And Carrocon the Wise, while exploring it, was slapped in the face by a giant glob of sentient wine that did a lot of damage to him. Carrocon is in trouble. So you should all, many of you rolled initiative at the end of last time. If you didn't, you should do that now. Looking at Krong, looking at Sentient Wine. So our initiative for battle will be Cool Cat, followed by Krong, followed by Reid-Quarrell, followed by Carrocon, Chomasa, Samson Jothem, and bringing up the rear, Sentient Wine. So Cool Cat, you're first.
Oh boy. And I am, because Carrocon and I were kind of like checking out the wine here. And
you're right there.
And then look what happened. Carrocon got hit for a lot of damage, right?
A lot of damage. Like 12 points.
Stay away from alcohol, kids.
That's, that's pretty rough. Pretty rough. I am going to cure him.
I have a drinking problem.
Because he's right here. So I'm gonna cure wounds on my buddy. I'm just gonna touch him on the shoulder and say, feel better. And you get to heal 7 hit points.
Ooh. Rock and roll. Thank you very much.
That's one of the things Cool Cat likes.
I do. I like to rock and roll.
Jason, is Cure Wounds an action or a bonus action?
Cure Wounds is an action.
Because it's a big
one, because he had 1 hit point.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to, leave room for my friends to attack the wine by stepping back. Helpfully.
All the way. Not just striding to the back of the room.
My cat-like quickness, I have leaped.
I just imagine, you're with your giant mascot feet on the sticky floor.
Can you go one more square south, please?
Sure.
Thanks. Thank you.
Keep walking, hero.
Yes. Imagine Krong and Cool Cat having interactions. It's great.
Can you remind me, some of you have light sources because this wine cellar is unlit. I think you extinguished some open flames because there was a pretty heavy alcohol-based vapor in the room. So which of you are currently providing or...
Well, Cool Cat has a boomerang that is lit up. I can hand this to somebody else if they want to, who's in that front line, if they want to use it and don't have a light source of their own. It's just with light.
Okay, just checking. And if the only person with light just ran to the back line.
I thought both Cool Cat and Carrocon had cast light on something.
Did I cast light or was I have really good night vision? I can't remember if I cast light.
Yeah, but the rest of us don't. So I think you were friendly and cast light on something.
I do have a light spell, so I probably did. Let's say I did.
Let's say that as I passed by Chomasa, since she's right there, I just handed her the light up boomerang.
Yeah, your novelty
in the
dark boomerang.
You'd stick it in your pocket.
I was like, I put it in my belt, and it is casting a glow. Right on. I'm going to get attacked.
Bright for 20 feet and dim for another 20 feet. So kind of the whole space.
All right.
I think. Whole visible space.
So, Krong, you are lurking not even in the wine cellar yet. You're still in the desolate basement hallway.
I mean, he's really good at lurking.
Yes.
Also, Krong, please notice I updated your token to have the version that's wearing a Cool Cat t-shirt.
Excellent. Thank you. A crop top. I will.
I don't know if it's intended as a crop top, but you have. It didn't come in bugbear sizes.
No, this is the size you wanted.
Okay.
I will slink forward. I will attempt to hide. Which.
All right, I'm going to tell you that is like a DC 10 stealth check because it's pretty easy to hide in a dark winery. Wine cellar.
Yeah, and I'm hiding from wine. Well,
I do love your insistence on hiding. It is an admirable trait in one so large.
You would be shocked at how much more damage I do if I am hidden. As you might about to be. I rolled a 27. And now I would like.
All right, none of your friends can see
once again, I say.
Did you run away?
I will mention, Monty, the sentient wine. It doesn't have eyes, but it does have it senses movement.
And it's always right. It's a in vino veritas joke that I got tired of trying to find a place for. I will take out my short bow and plink an arrow at this sentient wine from the shadows.
All right.
23 to hit.
Yes, so from the shelves of old wine, an arrow just cuts out of the darkness and plugs the giant red pulsing glob of wine in the glob. Right in the glob.
Oh man, no! The glove.
Excellent.
That's his
Then,
best
including
part.
my sneak
No!
attack damage, it is 10 points.
All right, that is significant damage. That is piercing damage, I assume?
Yes.
'Cause it's an
Wine's
arrow.
been torn apart.
All right. Krong, you all set?
You bet.
Reid-Quarrell, you're up next.
Okay. Is Carrocon still really hurt?
I think he's, I don't know.
I'm
He's,
Or are you a
at
lot better
13
now?
hit points. I don't think I'm like, it stings a lot, but I don't think I'm
Okay.
like actively damaged or
Right.
actively incapacitated now.
All right.
you should probably not stay where you are, Carrocon.
Can I
You should
move
not.
before my turn or no? I cannot.
No,
on your
you'll
turn.
on your turn,
I'm
you'll do
stuck
stuff.
there near the
But I'm just
wall.
saying, this is not like,
Yeah.
don't settle down here.
It's a nice place to build a house. I was looking for a new condominium.
Yeah. Winefront real estate, yeah.
I will just stay where I am, just standing, looming in the back, and
Mhm.
point at the wine and say, "Today is your day." And a ghostly, sort of a spectral-looking hand appears and assails it with a touch that is as cold as the chill of the grave, and that is a 24.
Okay, yeah. The wine is kind of frozen with the chill of
I
the grave.
prefer my wine chilled.
Mm.
I never drink
And that is
That's acknowledged.
Yeah.
that is max damage, 8 points of necrotic damage.
Okay,
And,
how does this feel about necrotic damage? Okay.
It may or may not care.
Doesn't have an opinion, yeah.
It cannot regain hit
Yeah.
points until the start of my next turn, and until then, the hand clings to the target.
Ugh.
Oh. I assume this wine is not undead.
It is not.
Okay, then that is all.
It's... All right. Carrocon the Wise. Carrocon, you probably have some important tactical decisions to make here. You are adjacent to the wine. So just, I don't know if this is a situation you've been in Dungeons & Dragons before. If you just walk away from the wine is going to take a swing at you, which could, knock you down again. If you can use your action to take the disengage action, which lets you move half your speed, I believe, and get away from it. But it's like you're doing that instead of attacking. It is so. It's kind of like, do you want to do the safest thing, or or not?
Oh, heck, not the safest thing. That would be ridiculous. Also, we've inflicted a lot of damage on this thing already, so I feel like I should be part of the team. Well, I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know.
Some of us have.
It seemed like
We've inflicted damage.
We've just started this combat.
It's true, but we don't know what kind of damage it can take. It could just keep absorbing it, I suppose. Perhaps I could talk it to death. That's one of my strategies.
You were miscast. We should have made you a bard.
That's the thing. I think I should attack it rather than, because I'm weak enough. I don't know. I think I got Witch Bolt, which is pretty good if it hits. If it doesn't hit, not as good.
Is that the kind of thing that might ignite?
Also, if it's
arc
ranged-
of lightning, could that catch on fire?
Lightning? I'm just thinking, like vapor, lightning.
All I seem to got are bolts.
You want to put that lightning in a bottle, maybe?
Also, if it's a ranged attack, again, if you're standing right next to it, you have to do it with disadvantage.
What I'm saying is you might attack with disadvantage and then blow up.
That's my life in general, though.
Yeah.
Is it
Even though it's not our turn, we all just silently back away slightly.
Just everyone lean back.
I'm leaning.
Yeah.
Is it it's a ranging? It is a ranging attack because it specifies a range. I
Yeah.
assume that's what that means. Hence,
Yes.
hence
My
the
guess
name.
is that
I'm just telling you. Tactically, Carrocon, you are, as a wizard, you don't usually want to
Yeah.
be standing next to
You may
things,
want to
ever.
disengage and step away, and just let we've got Chomasa and Samson up before the wine to attack it even more.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have no, and I don't have a good bonus action. So if I move, I gotta scurry out of the way, and then that's it. I mean, I've got a bonus attack, but
Again,
it doesn't apply here.
Purposefully stride backward, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
don't
going
you
to
have the-
purposely stride. How far away should I go? Off behind Pascal or
You
something?
could you could
You
flee
could.
down. I mean, purposefully stride down that little side passage, or you could
Like
go
over here?
back by Lord Whitesparrow. Yeah, either one.
Yeah.
I
You
think
did
I'm
have
gonna-
that bonus attack in your racial description, didn't you? You used it last time?
I do. Can I do that? But I'm too far away. It's a 5-foot reach.
You could you could do that and then move.
And then disengage.
So
Well,
do that and then
do
go
that.
away.
Let's do that. I'm going to do my long
right.
tooth shifting strike, which does 1d6 damage. So I got to roll 20 twice.
Just
I
once.
think just once.
Just once. Okay. I got an 11.
All right, and so you're basically like scratching at the wine with your little claws.
Oh man, I have been there.
Do you have any
I guess
bonuses
so.
to
All
this
right.
attack?
It's let's see, where would I find that? Oh, +2. It's +2 hit.
Yeah, so 13.
So 13.
Okay.
So you hit the wine. You scratch the wine, Glenn. How much damage does it do?
It does 4.
And what kind of damage?
That's a good question. Let me examine the information. Piercing damage. Sorry for the consultation time.
All right.
Piercing damage.
4 piercing damage.
Don't know
Noted.
how that does
All
the
right.
wine. Now I'm going
So
to
you've
stride purposefully away behind the Lord here.
all right.
Stridden away.
You disengage. Yes. All right. Out of curiosity, just because I don't think you've had this conversation as a group of players, I'm going to help you out here. You have a lot of like magic users and sneaky people and bards. What you don't, you didn't bring a paladin or to this fight.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah.
So I'm just going to ask: who do all of you think has the highest armor class in your group?
James?
Not me.
Wow.
I think
Maybe James?
Chomasa.
Chomasa,
Yeah.
probably?
I have a 12.
We have a ranger,
Whoa!
a cleric,
I-
an artificer, a rogue, a bard, and a sorcerer.
Maybe
I have
What
a
is
the
what is
ranger.
Krong's? What is Krong's?
Krong's armor class is a 14.
I
So
have
you're
a,
higher than
mine
me.
too.
I have a
Mine too.
19. I have a 19.
Oh,
So-
Samson. So it's Samson.
Whoa, it's so
What's yours?
14.
19?
19. So
James is
I have
19.
got. I have gone from the coward to the front lines by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that none of you had known that, and in fact, those of you who chose to answer that question answered wrong because you
Yeah.
didn't know. Yeah, Reid-Quarrell, what's yours? I would think as a cleric it would be decent.
14. I'm same as Crown.
Okay, so that's average. So I mean, the thing to think about is 14 is probably kind of average. Less than 14, you're kind of vulnerable and want to stay away from stuff.
Mhm.
Higher than 14, you should probably be up toward the front. So, Samson, did your armor class increase from earlier, or
It increased from the previous adventures because I got some gleaming armor that had a slightly higher armor
Okay.
class.
Oh, yeah. Also,
And-
his armor looks the best.
Yes,
That's
important.
true.
yes?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
very
guessing.
steampunk.
I'm guessing the
All right, just-
number of hit points that Samson has is probably not huge, though.
You may be surprised.
Whoever the level 3 characters are.
Oh,
because we have
that's
a mix
true.
of 2 and 3.
I
That
am not
jump
level
is
3.
50%.
Yeah. So my
All right,
hit points are 24.
Whoa. Okay.
all right.
Gravy.
So
I
that was just
pushed
a little
Samson
bit of
forward.
little bit of help there because I think you needed to decide who. It was like I saw all of you trying to retreat behind each other. So-
Listen,
We'll end up back in Whitesparrow eventually. So
yeah. All right, Chomasa.
Okay, on that note, I'm staying where I am and using my bow. 14.
14 hits the pile of sentient
Yay.
wine. Another
Yay.
arrow plugs through it. Roll me damage.
that's for how I felt after
And
that
it's
Bretzelorette party.
3.
3 damage. All right. The arrow
Every
like
little bit
cuts
helps.
through it, and there's a little like arrow-shaped hole in the sentient wine. Anything else, Chomasa?
No, that is all I can do.
All right, I will tell you that the heap of sentient wine does start to look. It looks a little, kind of structurally disorganized. It's kind of sweaty. It looks like it's.
I
not
no
doing
longer
great.
wanna sip.
Samson. Yeah.
So do you keep referring to this as sentient wine so that we have some feelings for it?
Yeah. Is it really sentient or is it just animated?
I've never assumed that any of your characters have.
I have
feelings.
Is it showing pain when we damage it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it crying?
Should we be
it doesn't
communicating
have
with this
tear ducts.
wine? Should we be like...
Sentient wine
Mhm.
feel pain.
Is this a hort?
A
I mean,
Horta situation.
maybe this thing is like a horta.
That's
Should I,
exactly where
should
I was going with this.
Samson,
Yeah,
can you
the only
communicate
other
with wine?
sentient creature you can think of. Yeah.
Can you
Yes.
communicate with wine, Samson?
Guys, I want to be clear here. This is a big pile of wine. The horta is a sentient lasagna. It's completely different. So
So
but together, mwah.
It's
Yes.
like, which tastes better,
yeah.
though?
Is this wine
Mm.
Italian? So
Space Italy.
I have been traditionally using fire, and I think fire might be bad, given that I've encouraged everybody else not to ignite this.
Ooh, fire bad.
And there is part of me
Do as I
that's
say, not as I artifice.
there is part of me that's like, but what if we used fire?
What?
I
if
get
we
that
use fire?
feeling.
And I think it would either go very well or very badly.
I would just like to establish that the vapors are all around all of you.
I feel it would go badly. Right? Okay.
I think that's a warning.
I mean,
It's the friendliest dungeon
this is
master.
a game where we do whatever we want, but I give you lots of information.
I think
We have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for a while. I only take the mildest form of amusement in murdering you. What I take the greatest level of amusement is, is
almost
when you get yourselves murdered, despite all of my warnings and suggestions to do otherwise. That's on you. That provides me the greatest satisfaction. So yeah, there's vapors all around. What are you, a coward?
well,
I'm fire resistant.
While I
Yeah.
oh, that's a good point. That's
I'm not.
resistant. I think my panda's fire resistant, but not me. Well, I think then it is short bow rather than flames.
Okay.
Because it seems to have responded well or badly to piercing damage. So let's give this a go. I rolled 15 plus 4. That's 19.
That's many. That another arrow hits into the wine. Roll me damage, Mr. Jotham.
This should be. I forgot I get +1 on all these things because I did my magical whatsits on it. I get 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6 damage.
All right. The wine is not looking good. Samson, you all set?
Might I suggest that Samson step forward as well to basically put himself
Shield.
between the wine and the rest of us, especially poor Chomasa, who now has like an armor class of 2, as far as I can tell.
Okay, I will throw myself in front of the wine.
Yay, Samson.
As I normally do on a Saturday night.
Often happens.
Thanks, Samson.
Saturday night. All right. I think it's the wine's turn, is it not?
Yeah.
All
Do
right.
you have
The
to, bring
wine.
a sommelier out to play this hand, or
The wine slides forward, leaving a trail of winey residue behind it.
Don't
leave
and
me.
That was the residue.
Yeah, and it comes in swinging like a kind of just like pseudopod, just kind of blorps out of the wine and swings in the direction of Samson's head.
Point of order.
Samson
I forgot my
Jotham.
panda.
You did.
Yes.
You left him back there. The panda has a great view of you getting beaten to death by one.
Well, maybe next turn I'll remember and use them.
Yeah. The wine rolled a critical fail. Cool Cat.
oh,
Yeah.
lucky us.
That was the panda
Yeah.
protecting me.
Cool Cat, can Cool Cat see the wine from here, or do I have to move?
I think you're fine.
All
Yeah.
right. I can see the wine.
You can poke your head around. It's,
All right.
You know,
Cool Cat pokes his head around with his
the map is.
crossbow.
Mm.
And
I mean,
roll-
they're wine shelves. There may actually be like you may be able to see through that.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
shelves
Well,
and
I
shoot
shot
through them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
shot the shelves because I rolled an 8.
Oh.
You know what?
You shot the shelves, not the deputy.
Cool Cat. The armor class of wine is 8.
Oh,
Oh,
So it ricocheted off the shelf and into the wine.
Yeah, right into the wine.
all right. That's 6 damage.
All right, the wine is not looking good. I think someone should be able to finish it off very soon, especially if that someone is Krong.
Krong's great at finishing off wine.
Oh my God, it's me again.
Mm.
I will. Oops, sorry about that.
He's going to disappear again. I know it.
I'm going to watch him this
Move
time.
Forward and duck behind this corner again,
Mm-hmm.
hiding. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 1, so a total of 8.
I would say that you have not hidden from the wine.
I
Very
see him.
well.
I
I like that you rolled a critical success and a critical failure for your 2 sneak checks.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I will still shoot it with a short bow and get a critical hit with my natural 20
Can
total
you roll
of
anything
25.
other than a
Only
1 or a
criticals.
20?
Monty's die is nothing but
Alright.
20s and 1s now. It's amazing.
Yeah, Monty, are you accidentally running a coin that says 1 on one side and 20 on the other?
I am bringing the drama. We are on television, effectively.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Monty, I think it's probably academic, but roll us double damage for that crossbow bolt.
Total of 12.
All right. You pin the wine to the wall or floor with a crossbow bolt, and it kind of shudders and just dissolves into non-sentient wine.
Ooh.
Take that, you wine.
It seems like it is now safe to move about the wine cellar. Lord Marlon Whitesparrow has been looking through his book the whole time. He looks over and says, "How did it go?"
We
I
killed
spilled
some
my
wine.
It happens. I mean, there's a lot of wine here, so I wouldn't worry about it. I was just reading about, my great uncle, who I think this was his wine. Lord Tharman Whitesparrow. Yeah, he seemed to collect a lot of wines. We might check around. There might be some valuable ones. He was apparently noted for keeping some special, like, exotics and magical wines. So I'm thinking that's probably what happened there. Is, you mix a couple magic wines together and you get a sentient wine. I'm not a scientist.
Pretty chill.
I'm going to look
Clearly.
around and see if...
Can I go to
Are
this shelf
there any-
over here?
Yeah, are there any wines
And
labeled
look.
magic wine?
Let's see. So as you
Seems like
search
it'd be a good
around the wine
idea.
cellar, there is basically a bunch of wines that seem to have kind of very fancy labels suggesting that they may have some kind of like additional alchemical components to them that, whether they make the wine any good or not, certainly at least make it expensive.
I would like to separate those wine bottles and put them far apart, unless people want to take them.
Okay.
I feel we
found
should
some.
get them on the way back.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will put them in like far corners of the room, remembering where I put them.
Like when
Pointing out to
you're-
my new friends, in case I die while we're down there. This is where I'm putting them, so that I won't be here maybe on the way back.
All right.
Like when you're in a shop,
Well-
you just sort of tuck it behind some
Mhm.
bad-looking wine, so
and
that
so they
people
don't
won't
mix
get
again
it.
and create
Yes.
another wine monster.
Well, Lord Marlin wanders around and he picks a couple wine bottles that he's, this one will be particularly good. He puts a couple into his satchel. They mainly seem to be just fancy non-alchemical, non-magical wine bottles.
Cool Cat walks over into this room, sort of to the south, to see what's there, and also if there's a passageway further south. And I have dark,
All right.
I have dark vision, so I can
Cool-
see pretty far.
Yeah, Cool Cat, you are looking around. You find in the kind of southern side of the part of the wine cellar here, there is, it looks like, basically a doorway that has been sealed off with kind of just a big slab of stone that's then held in place by a bunch of rotted wood that's been kind of nailed up. It looks like it'd be pretty easy to disassemble this barrier.
That's to the south or the east?
South.
Oh, there's a... Okay.
There's also a sealed up thing over here on the east.
Which we are not looking at.
All right,
I
I
was gonna
relay
check
that
it out.
information back to everybody. But there's a thing
Should I
over here.
blast it? No way, there's fumes. I can't blast it.
No,
We have an artificer. Can the artificer create a machine to move? Does your panda move?
Or our
big
strong
stones?
monster could probably open it up.
I
Yeah.
hate to ask him though. Feels
Hey, where'd
I
it
mean
go?
a
Classist.
combination of pandas and monsters could probably do this.
Mm.
it's my autobiography.
There's more
combination.
to me than being a monster. But
See?
what do you need moved?
This thing's
Some-
covered up, but there's probably something through there.
Do we need to check before we move it that it's not booby trapped and will kill us all?
Well, it won't kill us all.
That's a good
Sure.
thought.
I'm still hiding in the far corner, by the way. So
I would
could
like to
get
check for traps,
closer.
as is my
Alright.
sworn duty as a rogue.
All right, give me a quick perception check,
Oh.
Krong.
Oh, good. Perception is -1.
What?
Can
I
you
have a
see
total of
more?
0.
Are you
Krong, did you roll
shit-faced?
another one?
Yes, I did.
Krong, I don't understand.
Cool Cat's also going to check it out. He says that he's checking to see if it's locked, but of course it's not a door. So how could it be locked? And he got a 12.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Deep.
Cool Cat, it does not appear to be
All right.
trapped.
Go to it, Krong. It's fine.
I would like to bash through this.
All right, give me a strength check.
I'm very strong.
I'm not that strong. That is an unfair stereotype.
Really?
But I did roll an 18.
All right, Krong, your giant fists at the end of your long arms just kind of crush forward, and like you just smash right through the rotted wood, and you push on the big stone slab, and it just kind of falls forward, kicking up a lot of dust and cobwebs. There's a bit of crashing as there's probably some rotted wood on the other side of the stone slab holding it in place, but you can now peer forward and see there is a dark passageway leading deeper beneath Whitesparrow Keep here. It looks like specifically these are kind of catacombs with a lot of those kind of shelf tombs built into the walls with various, probably lesser important people laid to rest here. It is unlit. It smells like, decay.
Gross.
This feels like a job for Reid-Quarrell.
This feels like a job for a robot panda.
One or the other.
Does that book say anything about traps in the wine cellar?
Lord Marlin Whitesparrow starts looking through it. Does not say anything about traps, but I was warned that the catacombs were well protected. Does that seem like a catacomb?
I don't know. DM, does it?
I can go
Yes,
take
it
a
does.
look. Does it look like a catacomb? I would know catacombs, I think.
Roll catacomb check.
Yeah, sure. Totally roll a catacomb check.
Mhm.
That's a
Cool
13 on the die
catacombs.
plus my prodigious catacomb score. Actually, if that would be history.
Yeah, you feel pretty confident that this is some catacombs.
Yep. This does look like catacombs. Do I
Cool Cat loved catacombs. Get it? Is it-
Catacombs!
There we go.
Oh,
Do I see any traps?
Exclamation point.
are
yes.
you?
I probably don't see
Catacomb
any
with a
traps.
K and an apostrophe, just to be clear.
What did you roll?
I got a 9.
All right, you do not see any traps. You're like, yep, that's a catacomb.
Huh, my panda's got
Lots of-
+4 perception. I didn't know that.
Send
The
him
panda's
in.
like the greatest person in this
Roll in the panda.
creature in the
Yeah.
party.
Gonna send the panda to
Send
check
it
it
like a
out.
bomb disposal robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I roll, or Pascal rolls. 12 plus, did I say 4? 16.
All right. Pascal scans the chamber.
Yeah, there's a sort of one of those lasers that goes up and down.
Zoom,
Laser, you say.
We gotta work on Pascal's soundboard. Pascal's little, and maybe Pascal sees in some ranges of vision that are more organic. If party members do not. Pascal targets in on. There is a little bit down the. I'll draw it right on the map. Pascal zeroes in on. There is invisible, or at least unnoticeable to the rest of you, a glyph carved into the floor, a couple spaces into the catacomb.
I think Pascal comes forward and sort of like points at it, in a kind of dog-like way.
Wow, you
Aw.
invented an amazing robot that can scan and attack and find things,
Look-
but it cannot talk.
The speaker upgrade was just too expensive, so
Okay.
Can it beep or
Fair
flash?
however, no, wait, I can give commands, but I don't know that we can actually communicate back. So I think just
pointing makes sense.
yes, I think like instinctively I understand because we've spent so many hours together before this adventure.
Maybe
all right, so-
if there's something there, maybe Reid-Quarrell, since she's up there anyway,
Mhm.
could look at it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna step anywhere past Pascal, but I will like squeeze
All
up
right.
next and see. Can I see this glyph on the floor?
Yeah. Do you want to give me maybe some kind of investigation check?
Sure. That's a 14.
Reid-Quarrell, you feel pretty confident that this is a flame glyph. That if anyone were to say step on that space, there would be a pretty dramatic eruption of fire in the immediate area.
Fire.
Don't do that.
Would this be the
Right.
immediate area full of vapor?
Yeah, I feel like that's a real bad
No,
thing.
it's just in the hallway. It probably wouldn't spread it. Who knows? May or may
Until
not spread
somebody
into
gets-
the one cellar.
Until somebody gets set on fire and runs screaming into the
And
room
then
full of
runs
vapor.
into the
I'm
yeah.
not sure I like the
Looking
sound
at Cool Cat.
I'm not sure I like the sound of eruption of fire generally, except if it's away from me.
Is there a way that I see to disarm this, be it like magically?
You think
or...
that somebody who was trained in Arcana, or interested in Arcana, could make an Arcana check to attempt to disarm it. Though potentially, if it went poorly, you might just simply activate it, which is also technically another way of disarming it.
I
I'd like to
mentioned.
point out.
I will mention that I am not trained in the magic arts. I merely know about the clerical arts. So I shall step back, and perhaps somebody else would like to.
Well,
take a
I'm
look.
sort of frontline Arcana.
I
I
can use a mage hand to point at things and manipulate things at a distance, but a little bit.
I mean, you
Don't press the.
set it off with the mage hand when we're all
Probably,
far
yes.
away.
Yeah, I mean, I could be 30 feet
I like
away
the
and
idea
use
of
it, so-
Samson doing a little arcana
Yeah.
of his own,
So-
since he seems
yes.
to know a lot about it. Magical pandas and
I
all.
will tell you the Mage Hand is very useful for a lot of things, Carrocon, but it has a limit to how much kind of force it can apply. I
Right.
think it says how much it can carry and things like that.
So I would be
So there are
pushing
some
it.
traps that, for example, but I think it can only do 10 pounds of weight
I
basically.
see.
So it would be great for pushing a button or a light switch or opening a door and things like that. It may be insufficient force to activate, say, a pressure plate that is waiting for a human-sized creature to pass by.
Okay.
We have light switches now? What kind of nonsense is this technology
You
in a Dungeons and
invented them last week. You invented them last week, Artificer.
Yeah, I got that patent.
When you flip it up,
Samson
fire pours
Edison
in.
Jothem.
That's my middle name now.
Yeah, canon.
Right. Arcana check. 11 plus 5. 16.
Is 16. Okay. Your artificer comes up and you get out some kind of special looking viewing device for your optics, and you're studying it and thinking about what you know about glyphs, and you do a little bit of work both to kind of physically manipulate the tile and to whisper some magic words, and you have removed the fire glyph from the
Hurrah.
from the floor. It is no longer a danger. Looking where you are, looking around, you see that the fire glyph was kind of at a place where the catacombs take a turn here. It looks like there is a sealed up passageway leading to the east, and the catacombs turn and head to the west.
Okay.
Thus bringing us to the most laborious part of Dungeons & Dragons. Which way will you go?
Well, I feel
Which way will you
I'm
go?
following the panda at this point.
Which way
Yeah,
will
this
the
panda
panda
seems
go?
to have it together.
I'm very
I
wounded,
think
very vulnerable and slightly wounded, so I am not making a decision.
I mean,
Well,
I'm also wounded, so I'm.
oh,
hanging
I'm
back.
so sorry to you.
I think Pascal will have a look around this corner. And
All right.
and I'm hoping that a lot of these traps are going to be sort of head height. So pandas are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Head height is
is
a
Pascal-
human-centric conception. Many sentient creatures have heads below or above what you think of as head height.
I mean, he's a gnome.
I'm a
so-
gnome. Like, don't
Then
talk
you
to me
should
about
really
know.
investigate your internal racism.
I'm a gnome, Samson says to Krong's belt.
You all kind of look the same to me, I'm going to be honest. It's just the tops of heads, and you don't have enough fur on your faces.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of fur.
Except for you,
Um,
Cool Cat. You're awesome.
I have plenty of fur.
Yeah. Samson, can you remind me, is Pascal is in the dark? Does Pascal see in the dark?
Pascal does have 60-foot dark vision.
What
glowing
can't
red
this guy
eyes.
Use
do?
dark vision. All right. Why don't you roll a quick perception check for Pascal? Pascal can see to see if it. Pascal
I
sees
rolled a
anything threatening.
natural 20 plus 4.
Jeez.
All right. Pascal scans another hallway. Pascal can see the crypts leading off to the east. West. East, best friend. The crypts lead off to the west. In the far distance is another sealed off doorway leading further west. And then it seems like to the south, there's kind of a natural kind of cave crevice that is not part of the crypts, where like the wall has collapsed and you could look through there. And as Pascal scans the hallway, Pascal detects another flame glyph about halfway down the hall.
Cool.
Beep, 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 beep.
Pascal can see the past, can see the future.
I'm
It's
so
just
glad we have this bomb disposal robot. I mean,
Yep.
Panda.
Steel
And,
Defender, please.
That's even better. I ask Lord Whitesparrow, do you have any information in that book about where you think this crown might be? I would hate to go past a doorway or an opening that might have the goal right behind it.
He starts flipping through the book. He spends several minutes studying it intently. He looks up. He says, "No."
I'm beginning to think he's illiterate.
Okay.
I mean,
but
he was the first Lord of Whitesparrow, so I suspect it is the deepest, most well-protected, oldest? I don't know. That's kind of a guess.
These are
I'm a
just-
lord. I'm not like a grave robber.
That is
Is there like
logical.
a map at the back of this book? All good books have maps.
like a
at the
fold
back.
out.
He
and,
spends a very brief amount of time looking at the back of the book. He looks up. No.
Just a
Good.
list of
I
how to
suspect-
pronounce words.
Books suck.
Yeah, I suspect that the crypts were added to in various times over the generations, and that there's not, records weren't exactly kept.
so we can't go to the plan.
I don't think a lot of people come through here.
we can't go to the planning department to get the plans. In other words,
Mm-mm.
No.
I have some
The
concerns
he
about
flips through the
leaving.
book again. He looks up. The planning department was disbanded 200 years ago.
Man, to live in a house that's so big you don't even know what all the rooms are.
I've been in a house
Right?
like that once.
Feels well. I was spending some time thinking about the fact that he's got this wine cellar that apparently he hasn't been in ever. That's
Yep.
interesting.
I mean, well, it's got sentient wine in it, so there's a
Turns
reason.
Is he trying
Yeah.
to lead us to our death? Is that one of the possibilities here? No, I guess it would be much easier.
It is a
for us.
possibility.
I think it would be great if maybe Samson's doing a great job here with Pascal, and then Samson could potentially deactivate this next glyph. This is
I
great.
think deactivating the glyph is probably our first stage before we poke at anything.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
What typeface is that glyph in, though? That's my.
I am curious. I am
Sarah?
curious about this doorway here. I have some concerns about leaving unopened doors behind us if we don't know what's in
Mm.
those rooms.
I mean, is this an unopened or is it sealed? Because if it's a
I look
sealed
at
up
it.
thing,
I also, well, there's a lot of us, so we can keep an eye on it while he's taking that glyph and deactivating it. My concern is that if we open it and there's somebody bad in there, that we're going to then be forced back into the hallway where we would step on the glyph.
yeah.
Says Cool Cat,
Good point.
haha, and that would be bad.
That's a very logical concern.
He added
you.
in character afterwards.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So, what check?
Arcana.
Arcana. Okay, I'm good at
Well-
that.
While Samson's doing that, I will just look at this doorway.
Okay.
All right.
I recommend everyone steps back.
I am way
Um,
behind there.
I'm already
Ooh.
in
Not
the
a
corner.
problem.
I
still in the wine
Definitely
cellar.
recommend everyone steps back.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 2 plus 5, 7.
Well, good news. You won't have to worry about that glyph anymore because it has been activated. So,
Oh, no.
yeah. So, obviously, Samson, you are right there.
Yep.
And I think Pascal is next to you. Do you think anyone else is within 15 feet of you?
No, because I
Seems
wisely
like no.
suggested
Told
that
everybody to move.
Yeah.
it's one of the perils of bomb disposal.
Such a brave,
Yeah.
brave person, Samson.
Yes, I quite unlike the character of Two Adventures.
We'll
Ago.
remember you in song. You'll never be forgotten for your sacrifice. Oh, wait. we don't know what that yet.
Samson and Pascal, make a quick dexterity check.
Ooh, I have +2 on dexterity, so let's
Mhm.
see how that goes. 18 plus 2 for me.
Very good.
Pascal's dexterity is +1. Ooh. That will be a 6.
All right. So, Samson, you are working to dismantle the glyph. Suddenly, you realize that this is not going well. It starts kind of glowing with intensity. You kind of flatten yourself against the wall as the
In slow
glyph
motion.
ignites, sending a sheet of flames shooting down the hallway. Unfortunately, Pascal doesn't have the time to get out of the way. Pascal is going to take. I rolled relatively low, so this could be a lot worse. Pascal will take 6 fire damage. Samson, you are scorched for 3 fire damage.
Okay, that's not too bad.
All right. And the glyph has glyphed, so it cannot glyph again.
Was that 4
just-
for Pascal?
Yes. No, 6. 6. Oh, or does 6. 6 for Pascal, half of that for you. 3.
Okay.
Though, did you say he resisted fire?
No, I made that up, apparently. It was just poison.
So you are now presented with, you have 2 kind of ancient doorways, one to the east, one to the west, and then a tunnel to the south. Reid-Quarrell, you are studying the doorway to the east, and looking at it. There's a bunch of kind of, your traditional motifs that you would expect to find in a catacomb or a cemetery. Various, I
love it.
Death's heads and winged skulls and
I'm
whatnot.
I'm taking a rubbing.
Taking a rubbing of it. Though this one seems to have a variety of also kind of decorational, like weaponry and armor-looking symbols, suggesting that perhaps the people beyond this door were knights or warriors, or at least.
Right.
How long has it been
thought proudly.
How long has it been since these catacombs were open?
Would there be good armor in it?
A long time.
I'm just wondering, the real treasure might be that entire wine cellar. Like, are we talking about like 1,000 years?
Oh, that's like the person who wallpapered their bathroom with stock certificates, and then they realized later they were worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So Lord Marlon Whitesparrow, I mean, we could go back and do a quick inventory of the wine if you'd like.
Just
most of it's probably vinegar at this point. It was the weather, the temperature conditions in there are not ideal.
Yeah.
You seem to know a lot about that.
Some of it mixed and became sentient wine.
I look down the tunnel here with my dark vision, see if I can see anything.
All right. It looks like a dark, twisty cave tunnel.
All right.
That's pretty twisty.
I'm going to just tell everybody, I do not think the item we seek is behind this door. This door seems to have, this tomb seems to be for warriors, and that doesn't strike me as the tomb of a king.
Oh, warriors. That might be where, my great-great-great-granduncle, High Lord Grandel Whitesparrow, maybe him and his family are back there. They really built up the military around Whitesparrow. Honestly, it was kind of a boondoggle, a lot of spending, and, as you've seen, we do okay with one sheriff right now. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would there be any reason for him to have been buried with the crown?
No.
That was a nice history lesson, though.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He might have some good stuff,
Thank
but
you for
no.
your service. Mm-hmm. I move along past.
I like the
Cool
military budgeting exploration.
Cool Cat suggests to Reid-Quarrell that she look at the other door, since she seems to be so knowledgeable about these catacombs.
I would love to. I think
right.
perhaps Pascal should take a look at the rest of the hallway first.
Well,
good
I
idea.
think
Pascal will say Pascal has scanned the hallway.
Oh, okay, the whole hallway. All right.
I will
No life
instruct
forms, Captain.
I will instruct Pascal to perform a repair action 3 times a day. I can do this.
How long does it take?
Does not specify. It's an action, so.
Oh, okay.
6 seconds.
6
yeah.
seconds.
And I'm not saying that Pascal's overpowered, because I would never say that. But apparently this repair does 2d8 plus 2 hit points restored.
Can he do that to people?
He can,
Yes, we need
he can
that.
do it to constructs or objects within 5 feet.
Oh, can I become a cyborg raccoon? Because that would be fun. I've seen
You
all
gotta
that from
get
some
a
other
couple,
property.
couple levels higher.
This,
All right,
this is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Raccoon?
you get. Let me know the next time. I'll let you know the
man,
next time
I'm
we're playing
Groot.
Gamma World. So,
Pascal's back up to full hit points. So.
Reid-Quarrell, you are studying the sealed off doorway to the west. This one actually does not seem to have so many kind of funereal motifs as it does seem to have a bunch of things that are kind of like water and aquatic motifs. And yeah.
Let's ask the Lord about that one.
Yeah, I call Lord Whitesparrow
Got a
down.
swimming pool down here, Lord Whitesparrow?
Huh. I think before this whole place was turned into a crypt, there was, well, I'm trying to remember. He starts flipping through the book. Yes, Winona Whitesparrow. Winona Whitesparrow, about 300 years ago, she had fancy baths built beneath the keep to help her maintain her beauty. She died peacefully at 143.
I would like a
Wow.
bath.
I must admit, I'm very curious about what could help someone live to 143, and then, although dying peacefully, that's a little bit of a disappointment.
You said fancy baths?
Mhm.
Not bats.
I heard
correct.
fancy bats, and I was wondering what
Bats.
Is it
bats.
I heard
do-
baths, and I have bath salts.
Yeah, fancy baths are better than fancy bats.
Bath.
All right, I do
Look,
not take a rubbing.
I
to
know
this
I
door.
talk with a ridiculous Boston accent, but baths. 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 Not bats.
Fancy
Bats.
baths.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
we've
don't-
had
I
a fire room.
Covered with we're covered with
It was
wine,
not a fire room. It was a wine room.
A sentient-
Totally different.
We're covered with sentient wine residue.
Every room's a
Mhm.
fire room if you
We had
commit
a- it was-
yourself.
It was a fire hallway.
Yes.
Well, are we going to go into one of these rooms, or are we going to just continue on down the into the caves? I think that's the question.
That is the question.
I mean,
it's time for a song.
Clearly caves, right? Come on.
It's important to
Caves.
note that one of the things that we are getting out of this is whatever treasure we find along the way. That is what Lord Whitesparrow said. So far, we have found some wine. If we are looking for treasure related to bathing, some bath salts perhaps for Chomasa, or some weaponry. Perhaps we want to go in some of these doors. Otherwise, we may want to continue on looking for the crown to the south.
Yeah, your motivation is, he wants the crown is his. You're entitled to anything else you find along the way. So if you just get the crown and leave, that's great for him. He has no issues with that.
Well, cool
But
cat.
depending on your interest in adventure and
I
wealth.
would like to go to the bath.
Cool cat is not interested in the baths.
Right. He licks himself clean, obviously.
I huff a little bit with fire breath, and I want to go to the bath.
I mean, you can head right over to that door.
I am sticky from head to toe, so I think I have an opinion here too.
Is that because of the sentient wine, or was that a pre-existing condition?
Don't discuss that.
Nobody knows.
Ask people not to bring that up.
Speaking on behalf of the robots, I'm anti-water generally.
Well, there's the weapon room.
Chomasa, do you want to just and there's also a weapon room, or at least military-oriented room off to the.
Well,
but
it might
looks
make
like
sense
people
to
are-
look and see if there's weapons or.
Yeah, there's
armor.
probably weapons, but they're probably in the hands of somebody.
Chomasa, open
Well,
that door or let me through.
I'm
and
opening
let me
it.
Open that. All right.
I'm opening it.
All right. The door it's an ancient stone door, and it creaks open noisily, revealing a dimly lit set of baths beyond. Chomasa, you have something that has had light cast on it, maybe your sword, right? And so you kind of...
I have a boomerang in my belt that Cat gave
you
me.
have the boomerang casts light from the boomerang glows out into this room. I'll reveal a little bit of the room if I can find the thing to do that. And just looking around this dark, sealed up chamber, you see it's kind of a circular chamber. There are statues all around the walls of they appear to be of nude men and women kind of reclining and relaxing. There's a large bathing, indentation vessel thing. There's a large bath in the center of this chamber, and it seems to still be swirling with water, perhaps magically. There's some kind of strange stone table, kind of a big slab adjacent to it, and there seems to be piles of some kind of strange white objects scattered around the floor. Lord Marlin is continuing to read through it, and he's, yes, my aunt, Winona Whitesparrow, 300 years ago, long-lasting beauty, love of children. It said she has adopted dozens of orphans in her time.
my.
As I said,
Oh,
died
no.
peacefully
Oh dear.
at the age
This
of
floor
100.
is covered in orphan teeth.
Died peacefully 143. He flips the page. Oh! Died peacefully in her sleep, age 143, when she was poisoned by her niece, Clarissa Whitesparrow. Huh? Yeah.
Some
Hey,
family history you got there, buddy.
So we totally think Winona was bathing in blood, right?
Could be anything.
Well, or
Orphan
extracting
blood.
the life force of orphans, one of the two, or
Yeah.
the skin or something.
That seems
of weight.
very, very evil to me.
A lot of skulls.
You know, I mean, it's an old timey bath. It was a different time, people.
Don't try to apply your judgments today.
Yeah. You know, as you're standing there in the doorway, Chomasa, give me a quick wisdom saving throw. No reason. Just a thing I like to ask people to do from time to time.
23. These dice are working out. Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
That's it.
That's all?
Yep.
Very
Yep.
wise.
Everything's fine. Yep.
You're very wise.
Chomasa, do you want to move into the room and look around?
Or close the door and
kind
leave.
of. Yeah. I turn around and go, do we want to check this out? Or does anyone
Noting
else
the
wanna
giant
look?
piles of skulls. that we
There
I'm
can
a little
see.
concerned about the huge human sacrifice room and possible demons and unrestful spirits in there.
It doesn't appear to have any treasure.
We're not collecting
Unless you
skulls.
count
I mean, there's
skulls
not-
as treasure.
You might need to search to find treasure. I mean, it's not
That's
it's
true.
not always just in a pile on the other side of the threshold.
Mhm.
I'm not so excited about handling skulls, I have to be saying.
I kind of am. Not gonna lie.
Reid-Quarrell, do you want to move into the room? You want to just push
I'm-
Chomasa out of the way and go
Does
into a
he seem-
Yeah.
pile of skulls like Scrooge McDuck?
I feel like these people died in the wrong way, and
Oh yeah.
like, yeah, this is really not okay. So I'll step up to the doorway if Chomasa will
Can,
leave a
I will.
spot for me.
can you detect
All right.
like if there's some undead in there before you go in and there might be undead?
As you step up to the doorway, Reid-Quarrell, can you
Uh-oh.
give me a quick wisdom saving throw? No reason.
I can
Uh-oh.
try. What is my wisdom saving throw? That is a 24.
All right, you're great. Hey, Krong, you're nearby. Can you give me a
I
quick wisdom
am.
saving throw?
Oh, sure can. Let me just check. Yep, still bad at that.
Oh, I see several people adjusting where their tokens are on the map. in reaction
Cool
to
Cat
this.
is not interested
18.
in going anywhere near the water. Or
All right.
anything
That's
like
a 19
that.
minus 1.
All right, you're doing fine, Krong. So, Reid-Quarrell, you're moving into the room?
I'm moving into the doorway and looking around. Do I see that there are skulls on the floor?
Yes, there do appear to be piles of skulls, small skulls.
This is terrible.
And it is clear to you, I think, given your especially given your training, that this room was not there are people here that died not great deaths and probably in the sacrificial kind of way, and that this is not good, and there are kind of dark spirits linger here. Hey, Samson Jothem, just quick, could you give me a quick wisdom saving throw?
Well, I'm quite far away.
Yeah, not far enough.
Isn't there some inverse square law that applies here? I rolled a 19 plus 1.
The only squares D&D cares about are the 5 foot by 5.
Yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
Reid-Quarrell, we'll come back to you in a second. Glenn
Oh, sure.
Fleischman, could Carrocon make a quick wisdom saving throw?
Possibly.
You are
Possibly.
Carrocon the Wise, so
It's right in the name.
Let's see. What do I add to that? I add
You should have a
Not very
wisdom
much.
saving throw
nothing to
modifier.
that. I got a 5 plus.
Carrocon
Wait a
the
minute,
Wise
wait a
has-
minute.
Are you named incorrectly?
Well, let's just say there may be the
There's some
label may not
branding
match
issues.
what's in the box.
Yeah.
It's fake news.
I think we've already
Carrocon,
seen the answer to that question.
Carrocon, you hear something strange, and only you hear this. It sounds like there are crying children all around you.
Off in my face.
Oh, no, you looked at the comments.
Yeah. All right, back to Reid-Quarrell.
Glenn's Carrocon's crying children go to bed.
I think basically Reid-Quarrell, my thought process is that we are in the middle of a job, and this job is not to clean up, disgraced tombs. So I'm going to ask, the Lord. I'm going to turn to Lord Marlon Whitesparrow, and I say, Lord, this is a terrible and evil place, and I would love to come back someday and do some sacrificial rites, not non-sacrificial rites. Let's get that straight. And do some prayers and some smudging. I don't know. Whatever kind of thing needs to be done.
Sure,
to
whatever.
Make this
But
place
let's
better.
find the crown.
Hey,
Okay. All right. Now that I have
excuse me.
permission to come back.
Excuse me, Reid-Quarrell. I'm having this distinct sensation. Is nobody else hearing the crying children? I mean, it seems really like a prominent feature of these catacombs now.
I
hear
immediately
crying children.
close the door as soon as Carrocon says that. I step out of the way.
Just me. It's just me.
I scooch Chomasa. I elbow Chomasa out of the way so I can close the door.
The door closes. The crying continues inside your head, Carrocon.
Didn't seem to stop it, Reid-Quarrell.
I'm
Still
gonna
hearing the
go
crying
in.
children. Not very pleasant.
I'm going to go over to Carrocon and do a, I don't know, healing check? Medicine?
Sure.
Something?
Just give me an intelligence check.
Can I do medicine instead?
Sure.
Don't check my intelligence.
It doesn't matter. That's still only a 7.
Yeah, you know what? You're suddenly, as you get close to Carrocon, you realize this is there's a lot going on here. You're not sure what's up.
I say as
you're-
confidently as I can, I'm sure it will go away soon the farther we get from that room. Let's
I'll
go.
just chew on some willow branch in the meantime.
All right.
Willow bark.
So you've decided you don't want to go into the haunted baths. Do you want to explore to the east or to the south?
There may be a greater chance of treasure beyond this door. However, I will point out that I am not going to allow anyone to carry away the weapons of the dead.
Well, there's no point then. So
All right, let's go south. I'm lawful. Sorry.
I'm going south.
All right. Krong, you lead the way into a dark cave-like passage. Perhaps this was here long before the more built-out crypts were created. It is dark. The floor is slippery and uneven, but you make your way through the various passageways that twist and turn deep beneath Whitesparrow Keep. I'm just going to reveal parts of the map as you go.
All right. I will creep forward stealthily. I have
All
dark
right.
vision. All that stuff. You know the deal.
I know that deal. So you continue to creep forward through the kind of cave-like ruins. The rest of the party follows beyond.
we didn't say we followed.
I did. That's
Well, Coolcat's got the
it's-
dark vision too. He's going to follow.
So does
James.
Samson.
James, dungeon master, not dungeon suggestion.
Now that we're far
I
enough
thought we
away,
had free will.
now that we're far enough away from
Adorable.
the wine fumes, I will light a torch, but I will stay way towards the back.
All right. Yeah, there's no sign of the wine fumes. Carrocon, the crying continues in your head just as loud as before.
Folks, is it just me? It seems like there's children here somewhere. Should we be rescuing them? Putting them out of their misery? Just something does
Carrocon.
not seem right.
Sad children full of terror.
Sad children. It's not the happy sounds of children that's just terrifying. It's the terrifying kind. They sound like someone's torturing these children. I kind of think we should be doing something about this. It's just me. Nobody hears it. Nobody's hearing it. Nobody.
Now you know what I hear every time I go out in public.
All right, Krog, you're going to continue along the various passageways. The group follows along.
So
It appears to
dismissive
be.
of his problems.
Krong, you eventually reach a T intersection in the cavern. The twisty passageways seem to split here. You could head east. You could head south. And strangely, you think you can kind of see from the south light.
Well, that sounds great. Wait for some people to catch up and then head south.
These twisty passages don't seem all alike to me.
There's another one where they're all different.
Okay.
All right. So the group here, Krong, you're going to look into the room?
Yeah.
All right. So the passageway seems to open up, and you can see, in fact, there is a illuminated, lit chamber in here. There are torches in nice little sconces all around. They seem to be a little strange. They're giving a kind of a violet-colored light. Violet, not violent. And they are illuminating this dark, round chamber. There is a large circle drawn in dark red powdered chalk in the center of the floor. It edges form carefully into some kind of glyphs. Outside the circle, you're going to love this, Reid-Quarrell. There are 6 skeletons arranged on the floor in kind of old, decaying royal garb, their hands clasped at their chests. And the most notable object in the room, its inhabitant at the center of the circle sits appears to be kind of a male human, but with large white feathery wings. He's kind of just sitting there cross-legged, and Krong, I think he sees you in the doorway and stands up and waves at you.
Can you reveal this on the map, please?
Indeed, I can.
Ah! Oh. It's much spookier that way. Do any of these people have crowns on? You said royal garb.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to move in and inspect them.
I mean, I'm all the way in the back, so I can't help unless you want me to call me forward to see if I know anything. But somebody's waving at you, so I feel like that's the least of your problems right now.
You.
I will. I'm going in. I go in.
Godspeed.
If they see Krong and they are waving, then, must all be good. The traditional.
This guy have a crown?
Let me just do.
Not touching him, just giving him an eyeball.
All right, you approach there are these 6 ancient skeletons arranged around the circle, and they do not, though they appear to be kind of fancy, not fancy enough that they have a crown. The creature in the center of the circle, again, kind of a human, but with giant, big, flappy white wings, says, "Greetings."
Hello. Have you seen a crown?
Straight to the point.
I can't say that I have, friend.
All right. Well, bye.
We're moving along then. Thank you.
Safe travels.
Guys, I'm crying children? Distress?
Oh, have you seen a whole bunch of crying children?
No.
All right. This guy hasn't seen anything.
Checks out.
Can I look at him and try to figure out what he is?
You want to come into the chamber? I assume that right now only Krong is looking around this weird
Chomasa
chamber.
and Cool Cat had walked in.
Yeah.
Oh, Chomasa and Cool
follow.
Cat have walked in too. All right, Cool Cat, give me some kind of look check.
It's 10.
He looks kind of angelic.
I'm allegedly a sorcerer, so I'm going to come in, and I would also like to look.
You were
at
also
him.
allegedly wise, so
Yes. Well, we can't have
Allegedly
everything.
the wise.
We can't have everything, but I would also like to look carefully at him to determine things.
All right, sure.
And do I add something to that? Do I add a wisdom? I don't know wisdom, so I got a 10.
Mm-hmm. It appears, as far as you can tell, to be some kind of. I mean, I don't know if Chomasa has, or sorry, not Chomasa, if Carrocon has ever seen an angel before, but it certainly seems to fit with kind of descriptions you have heard of them. There's a male human. He's standing there. He's naked. He has kind of long, flowing blonde hair. He's kind of typically attractive. He's got big, large wings sticking out of his back. He seems, interested, curious about you new arrivals in this chamber, but also seems to kind of exhibit kind of a serene presence.
I'm looking at the bodies, like
Okay.
I'm curious about how they were interred. Do they look like they've been messed
Sure.
with? What's
Chomasa, were you doing something there too?
Oh, I rolled a wisdom check and I got a 21 so in case we get any more wisdom about the seeming angel.
So it does seem like you study this whole chamber is very strange to you. This creature does seem to be some kind of I don't know, powerful being. You can kind of feel the magic radiating from them that you have probably never experienced before in your life. It does seem like perhaps this creature is being kept here by the sigils on the floor. So that seems, this all seems very strange. So, Reid-Quarrell, you are inspecting the 6 corpses arranged around the circle.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be kind of just placed there. They were all people that were kind of somewhat elegantly dressed. They each all have some kind of fancy daggers and weapons, though they're kind of old and corroded. And they seem to have just kind of been, placed there with their, lying on the ground with their arms crossed. So, but they are kind of out in the open, so they're not like entombed. But they are there.
Are they placed in does it look like they're placed specifically in relation to that circle full of
Yes, it does
glyphs?
seem like that. They're kind of arranged that.
Okay, then I'm going to look at the glyphs and see what the heck is going on. Are these people's life forces being used for good or evil, or neither?
Crying children.
Yep, Carrocon the children continue to cry on loop.
So I don't know. Is that like a religion or?
Yeah, I would say it's probably Arcana.
Or Arcana. Okay. Well, I'm not as good at that, but I'll roll 11.
Yeah, it seems like probably it has something to do with this creature just standing here in the middle of the room.
So
you were probably used to the idea that if anything disrupted the chalk, that would probably disrupt the magic that is binding this creature there. So, Samson, are you entering the chamber?
Yeah, I'm going to do an Arcana check as well.
All right. Lord Marlon Whitesparrow wanders in behind all of you, and the creature in the middle of the circle says, "Oh, more of you. Hello, welcome. Please stay a while. I don't have anything to offer you."
Are you a prisoner?
I am.
Who imprisoned you?
My name is Rays. I was a servant to Queen Rachel Whitesparrow. Perhaps you know her. She kept me here.
I turn to Marlon Whitesparrow and say, "Was Rachel Whitesparrow another one of your foremothers?"
He starts flipping through the book. He starts looking at it, skimming.
It seems your family was terrible.
Four mothers? This family tree is very complicated.
Yes, Queen Rachel Whitesparrow, quite a while back. She ruled for over 70 years. She was known as Rachel the Wise. She always knew what to do. It is said that she made the wisest decisions and the most informed, and seemed to know what was going to happen before it did. Indeed, she is said to have, says here, she successfully avoided 6 different assassination attempts.
She died in the 7th.
I rolled a 21 on my Arcana check, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. 21 on the Arcana check?
Yeah.
So this indeed appears to be a powerful binding spell here that is to keep some kind of powerful being locked, imprisoned within the circle, and that that creature, if the circle was disrupted, would be free.
So, are you happy here, Rays? Would you like us to let you go? Can we do something in exchange? We're looking for a crown and maybe money too.
Well, I would be very excited for the opportunity to leave here and perhaps to serve a new master. It's been rather boring, but it has given me a lot of time to think and, work on myself.
Could you tell me about the crying children? Why are there so many crying children no one else can see in this dungeon?
Sounds like you're cursed, friend.
Uh-oh.
This guy's great. I say we let him go.
I would like to ask about these 6 corpses that are laid out here. Who were these people, and how did they die?
My master placed them here to I don't really know her motivation, but these were assassins that came for Queen Rachel. I knew of their coming and warned her about each one, and so she defeated all of them.
Oh, I approve.
So you can tell the future?
I can sense various things.
Are
Can
we
you
gonna
sense a
let you out?
crown?
I might know something about that. Perhaps we could come to an agreement.
I will be clear. I do not want to do this as a deal. I intend to let you out no matter what. But if
I'm
you
fine with
wanted
that,
to
too.
tell us about the crown, that would
Mhm.
be great.
Oh, certainly.
I want to be a
sounds-
nightmare hero, not a nightmare monster.
That sounds lovely. Lord Marlon Whitesparrow is frantically flipping through the book. There is nothing about this in here.
Yeah. Also, we did just learn something about how inaccurate the subtitle "The Wise" can be.
Yes, I was going to say.
Is there a
So
new link?
the angel rays continues. I would love to make a deal, whether I could provide you with information or service or what have you.
See, I'm a
you-
little worried about the concept of a deal or service from somebody in a magic circle. You might be a demon. So if we could just do things above board and not any, signing in blood things, that would be great.
Oh, of course not. He seems a little taken aback by that. He looks over at Lord Marlon. You, sir, you look like you have the Whitesparrow look to you. Lord Marlon kind of looks up from his book briefly and then goes back to his book.
Wow, must be a great book. Where's the crown? Can you help us with the crown? What do you know about the crown?
What is the agreement, friend? I will tell you about the crown and you will let me free?
You really seem to want to make a deal out of this whole thing, and that's getting
Look.
me a little worried.
I seek freedom. I don't know how long I have been down here. I served Queen Rachel Whitesparrow for many years. It was a wonderful partnership. But it was, the last time I see her, she was quite elderly. She was ailing. I hope that she passed away peacefully, but I suspect that she being the only person that knew of my presence here, I've been a bit forgotten about for quite some time, and I'm eager to get back into things.
So you were happy enough to be trapped by her for 70 years, and that was all fine.
Look, I see things, I know things, I am happy to provide advice.
Can I look at
Great.
this obelisk or something that's on the far side of the chamber and see
Sure.
what it says?
Instructions. Do not promise this.
Hmm.
Do not break in case of emergency.
You give me some kind of... So you're just looking at it, Cool Cat?
Yeah, trying to see what it
We-
says and if you want me to roll something, DM?
With your eyes, both of them?
Enormous
Yes,
mascot
I would like
eyes.
to look at this thing to see if it is a list of instructions of don't let this guy out, he's really bad or whatever.
All right, there is a stone rock. Stone rock?
Stone
there
rock!
is a slab.
Hurrah!
There is a stone
When the
slab.
Flintstones writers got real
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah, a boulder-sized boulder. There is a large stone slab in the corner. It's got kind of a slight angle to it. It seems like it probably there's a bunch of kind of writing implements on it. It looks like it probably served as like an improvised writing desk. And in fact, there's some ancient pieces of parchment there that look like they might be notes that someone jotted down, but they're very old. Cool Cat, you just looking at them, you're worried that picking them up with your giant mascot hands, they might crumble into pieces, but they're there. You want to pick them up?
No.
Oh, good adventuring. Yes, and
I'll look at him real close. Does that help?
all right, you look at them. You get your eyes right up next to them. You look at them. They seem to be various notes, presumably from Queen Rachel Whitesparrow, about they're kind of boring bureaucratic regal things about how to sell grain for and what the forecast for the next growing season will be, and that no signs of future assassination attempts, but various crop reporting advice that a noble might need to successfully run a kingdom.
I'm known as the Wise. Should I take a look and see if I can reveal more information?
You could try.
Makes sense.
Well, it is what I'm known
Seems
for.
real boring to me. Carrocon, you look.
Yeah.
Sounds like you.
So I'll roll
How many
20.
joke characters? How many joke characters would we bring to this adventure?
I mean,
I
depends on
gotta-
your definition.
In meeting my character's name, I got a 6. So I'm like, hey, that looks like a lot of bunch of 8 in there, huh?
Yeah, they looks a real old Carrocon.
Very, very old.
I just want to look
Why are
and
all
see.
these children crying?
Are there?
Please, friends, what can I do to move things along?
I have a
could tell us
question.
where that crown is.
You've been here 70 years. I think you can wait 5
No,
minutes.
70 plus hundreds.
Yeah, no, it's been hundreds.
Oh,
So.
don't tell him it's been hundreds of years. He might get mad.
It's been
He doesn't
hundreds
know.
of years.
He's lost track of time.
I assume to set you free, we need to do something to disrupt the chalk circle. Is doing that? Is there a specifically safe way to do that won't harm any of us in the doing of it? I know that sometimes diffusing magic can be tricky.
I think it should not be you could just brush it aside with your foot. I think even if you just reached out and grasped my hand and pulled me across it, we would be all right.
I'm looking at the parchment to see if there are any blank pages that are in decent shape.
Sure.
I take some.
All right, you have some ancient paper.
More
Add that to your
rubbings.
character sheet.
Should Samson? Hey, Samson, maybe you should take a look at this desk too. I feel like you might have some arcane knowledge we lack about.
While I may not be as wise as you, I have certain skills.
You are as wise as I am. And
Oh no. I mean, oh no. I will do perception or arcana or history. History sounds good.
You would learn different things from different. There's probably not a historical significance of this slab.
It's becoming trivial.
Well,
pursuit.
I'm gonna do
Arts and leisure.
investigation.
You would learn different things from different checks.
Well, I can do as many checks as it takes.
As many as you can do quickly before I get bored.
Okay. I got 23 on Arcana.
There is nothing arcane or magical about this big stone slab. There's
Then-
nothing going on with it.
I do perception check and I get 22.
It seems like it was probably just a rock where somebody would sit and write. The angel in the circle says, I remember when Queen Rachel would sit there and we would talk for hours and I would give her advice and she would ask me good questions and we would talk about everything. She would sit there and jot down her notes and run off to rule and hopefully my advice would steer her well and she'd come back and we'd talk more. Feels like just yesterday.
It was not.
What's Lord Marlin doing in all of this? Has he? I mean, he's
He
her
is-
descendant.
He is frantically looking through his book trying to understand what the hell's going on.
Do I find the angel trustworthy?
Insight check.
Insight?
Insight check.
I mean,
I
angel.
rolled a 7.
Yeah, seems great.
I think that's told us something.
Again, we're looking for this crown. If you could tell us
Look.
anything about it, that would be great.
Oh, sir, what is your name?
I am Karong.
Krong, it is my pleasure. Again, Raise. I assure you, you are getting very close to this crown. I think I know the crown of what you speak of. Clearly, you're a brave adventurer who's traveled quite some time and defeated many things. You are but steps away from the final resting place.
So let's go
of
there.
King Lavendus Whitesparrow. You simply need to head to the east. I will even warn you that I believe that there are some spirits that still linger there and may wish not to be disturbed. I give you this advice because I hope that you will have a safe and prosperous journey and carry on the good name of the Whitesparrow family. It is to the
That
east,
sounds
sir.
great.
Great.
I would like to free this.
Perhaps I could accompany you and
I would like to
serve you
free
in
this
battle.
guy.
Yeah.
Let's-
Wrong.
let's talk
I think
about
we
it.
should. I think we should
Krong
catch this guy on the way back.
Krong already said he was going to do it. I'm standing right here.
when?
I think one of
I
the
feel-
two of us
You
is
didn't say
going to kick.
I think I'm good with
He
it.
said he would
I
come
meant
with
now.
us.
Listen,
So-
my name is
I
The
believe him.
Wise, and I'm saying I think we should catch this guy on the way back after we got the crown.
I'm moving to the back corridor.
He's listening to children. He
Samson, what do you
doesn't-
think?
Do it.
Excellent.
I
I'm hanging out
think-
with Pascal here.
This seems too clean.
It looks pretty.
I-
I'm
bad
ready
to
to
me.
take. I am
Even-
ready to take. the
Even if
risk.
this is a demon, I don't feel great about him being locked in isolation for hundreds of years.
Same.
But is that going to make you happier?
Yeah.
Then we could just leave him. And he would be even happier.
No.
Okay, Cool Cat gets out his bagpipes
Oh, no.
Oh,
and
boy.
plays a
we
little
go.
song while watching our new friend closely to see his reaction to Cool Cat playing the bagpipes.
He
I'm
looks
gonna
like he
roll
loves it, and we decide to kill him.
I'm going to roll performance. I rolled an 18 on performance, Tony. What happens?
He seems to kind of nod his head appreciatively.
Evil!
he's a
Evil!
monster.
Demon.
He's definitely evil.
It's not my thing, but I could see, it's hard. I assume musical tastes have evolved.
I like his angel. It's not my thing, but I can see why your kids like it. Yeah.
What is this? Dubstep? Ah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Angel in here.
It's one of Tony's many voices.
I love it.
Yeah, I got New York Goblin. I got Boston
Brooklyn
Kobold.
Cab Driver. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Kron, I think it's true role playing if you just free him. I think it really
Yeah.
is.
Lord Marlin finally looks up from the book. The book really does not cover what to do here. I'm in and out of my element. To think my whole life I have lived in this keep, and this is going on in my basement. I don't like it. It's
All
so
right.
confusing.
He doesn't like
None
it.
of my royal training prepared me for this. He starts over at the front of the book again.
Well, Lord Whitesparrow, I hope Rays does not have a huge grudge against your family, because I'm kicking through this circle.
I will.
Right.
I will
Alright.
as well, so that it's not just Krong taking
You
the
kick
front for
through the
this.
circle, and Rays steps forward and steps out of the circle. And as he does, he transforms. He is a good 2 feet taller. His skin takes on a red complexion. His wings kind of shed their white, glowing feathers and take on just a shining luminescence of bat wings. Strange little horns protrude from his forehead, and he's just stretching and
I'm not
That
judging.
feels
I'm standing
good.
next to a bugbear who's my friend.
Aw,
I
thanks.
was
I think that he looks a little
cooped
hot.
up in there. I don't know whether to head back to Farathon, fourth layer of the Nine Hells, or just walk around this world and find some souls to feast upon. Really, really appreciate that. Oh, wow.
Don't.
Here, again, I just can't thank you enough. He kind of just, you're not sure where he pulled it from, but he's suddenly holding a wand that he just kind of tosses in your direction, Krong.
Well,
Do you
thanks.
catch it?
I don't know. What do I roll? I try to catch
no,
it.
You catch it.
Okay.
And so you do.
One of your
It appears to
giant
be
hands.
a wand. It's a little stick with some magical things in it. Perhaps
It flies
somebody
over in
more
slow
magical.
motion, and I catch it like in a John Woo movie.
Nice. Several doves fly by in the background.
He's not undead, right?
Nope, he's an
Okay.
infernal. Reyes looks around and says, well, unless there's anything else to be determined, no one was looking to pledge years of servitude. Lord Marlin, you're lucky. Terms of limitations. I can tell it must have been several hundred years. Otherwise, we'd be much closer. Anything else, or I'll be going.
Crown.
He said
You hear-
over to the east, you said? A couple
East.
spirits guarding it?
Yep. Best of luck. He traces like a large oval in the air, and there's kind of a gust of fire, and he steps through a portal. And it
Well,
snaps
I'm
shut.
I say goodbye in primordial. I assume maybe he speaks it. I don't know.
I'm sure nothing bad will ever come of this.
Not that we'll know of.
No, because we're going to die.
I'm fine with this.
Why are there still these crimes?
Well,
The children are still
Lord
crying.
Whitesparrow, we got rid of the demon in your basement.
Pretty good.
Are we the good guys here?
Absolutely.
Sure, we freed somebody.
It depends on
Just
Horrible
because someone is a demon does not mean they are inherently evil. Slavery is wrong.
He
They were
did
trapped
mention
for-
the feasting on the souls or something.
But then
Before he goes
he very clearly walked into hell, so he decided not to do that. So everything's cool.
Demons got to eat.
Hmm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't deny him his nature.
I say to Lord Whitesparrow, when you ask if we are the bad guys, if you mean your ancestors, it looks like yes.
Mm.
Look, you can't choose family. All I
No.
can do is learn from their mistakes.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying.
I'm just
I
judging
have
your
never-
entire lineage.
I have never sacrificed a child. I have not engaged the services
Always
of
make sure
demon.
they're 18. Check that
Yeah,
ID.
I have not engaged the services of a demon for advice. I mean, honestly, I've been kind of criticized for being a bit hands off, but I feel like, if anything, I've gained perspective here that maybe I'm the best ruler Whitesparrow has ever had.
That is
It's
possible.
It's possible.
That's true.
yeah.
It's possible.
I'll give you that.
Mm.
So
Curse of
far,
benign neglect.
you're ahead.
Mm.
Let's go
Um,
I
east.
slap him. I slap him on the back.
Do we want
All
to...
right. Next up, the first Lord's tomb. That crown, it's got to be near. I can taste it.
Don't taste the crown.
That's the sentient wine, I think.
Mm. You know, that sentient wine did taste pretty good. I had some of it as we walked past. Not
Mm.
bad.
Mm. All of your fillings have left.
Oh no, my fangs.
Yeah, they've moved to another dimension. All right, so you leave the strange chamber of the angel / not an angel, where it was imprisoned. You leave Angel Jail, head east to what you hope is the last stop on your tour of the crypts. You want to move your tokens along east on the map?
I do.
Yeah.
You could write a new edition of that book, Lord Whitesparrow.
I am thinking some histories are best
Right.
left untold.
Well, you don't have to put in everything. The wine part sounds interesting, at least.
Yes, I mean, that was only like 85 years ago. Is that history?
Could be
Yes.
the wine specter.
If you write it down now while it's not history, the people in 500 years will appreciate you having done so when you knew what was going on. It will
All right,
become history.
Krong leads the way. The cave-like passage opens into a large chamber, and you can see in the darkness some kind of structure in the middle of that chamber. It is unlit.
I got dark vision.
Me too.
You got dark vision.
I've got a
So-
glowing boomerang.
Looking out ahead of you, the cave has opened up into this large cavern. You hear the sound of running water, and it looks like there's a small waterfall at the back of the chamber, flowing into kind of a pool in the middle of the chamber. And in the middle of that pool is a stone mausoleum. It's almost like it's got a
Ooh.
natural moat around it. The stone door stands closed at the front of the mausoleum, and you can see carved into it, even in the faint light, the form of an elderly, brooding man. Several tall, cracked statues stand amid loose rubble around the mausoleum. Each one looks kind of like they've got kind of the look of a knight or a warrior. It is quiet.
Would you say the water is running all the way around the thing?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Are you questioning the water physics in this level?
I'm questioning how likely it is there's a vampire in there.
Yep.
Oh.
Same.
Oh.
Yeah, Reid-Quarrell is immediately. I've spent my entire life studying the undead. This worries me.
Me too. You should have some fun.
Adventurers, your next move?
Um,
I'm going to
Walking
step
up to a
forward next to
statue.
Krong.
All right. Krong advances into the room. The floor of this chamber is weird. It seems to be kind of just, there's lots of loose rocks and gravel and rubble at places.
What is the
unclear.
ceiling like?
It's hard to say. It's far above you. this kind of big cavern. You see some stalactites, or they might be stalagmites, but they're not.
They're hanging from the ceiling.
What's up with the
Yeah.
statue? Tell me all about it.
Stalagmites.
Someone could have
Stalagmites
Someone
might
could have
be on
broken
the
them off
ceiling,
the ground.
but they're not. Yeah.
Someone could have broken them off the ground and stuck them on the ceiling.
Yeah, just some
to
weird,
mess us up.
Yeah, let me tell you the backstory of that, because every weird thing in Dungeons and Dragons has a weird backstory. Long ago, there was a war between wizards, and one of the wizards hated stalactites but loved stalagmites. So he went through this cavern and he removed all the stalactites and he threw those away. But then he discovered this cavern didn't look good without stalactites, so he took half of the stalagmites and he sawed them off, and he used hot glue to attach them to the ceiling. So they are still technically stalagmites that just happen to be at the top of this cavern.
Lord Whitesparrow's book has a whole
They're
chapter
tight
just on the stalactite
stalagmites.
situation.
Yeah.
I suspect that this is my specialty as a sorcerer, is detecting stalagmites.
Lord Marlon Whitesparrow is looking through this. He's just, oh my gosh, my ancestors spent a fortune on converting stalagmites to stalactite. Our kingdom was, oh god, there was like decades of recession because of how much money we spent on one unlicensed wizard to come in and do all this contracting work.
But it does explain why the stalagmite manufacturers are so rich in this town. What's up with the statue? I'm looking at it. Come on.
Are you saying that to me or to Lord Marlon Whitesparrow?
To you.
Oh, okay.
Might be the book.
So you study each of the statues as you're looking at them, Krong. They appear to be slightly different. They all appear to depict kind of a knight who's standing there with a sword and a shield, looking kind of powerful and majestic. And each of the statues you can see is clearly kind of depicts a different person, as if they are depicting specifically 6 different knights that presumably had some connection to King Lavendus Whitesparrow, First Lord of Whitesparrow.
I want to look at this tomb. I don't want to cross the water, but I want to look at it.
All right.
So my favorite enemy is the undead, which means I can do survival checks related to them.
Nice.
Can I do a sense and see if I notice any trace of them in this chamber?
All right. I don't know how that works. Also, I will point out,
know.
I handed you a wand that no one knows what to do with.
Oh yeah, I got this thing. Anybody understand it?
Well, I am the wise.
Oh, great.
Let me do a perception or some kind of
do
Arcana?
it. No. Do a wisdom check. Make him do it.
Oh boy.
I'm not
gonna
even
go
trying. I
great.
just assume I don't know.
This is going to go great. 18. I told you I was wise.
Carrocon, you study this and you recognize this otherwise indistinguishable twig as a wand of enemy detection. This wand has several charges to it. While holding it, you use an action and expend a charge, and you have to speak like a magic word that you would know by knowing that it's a wand of enemy detection. And for the next minute, you know the direction of the nearest creature hostile to you within 60 feet. But you don't know. You don't know its exact distance. You just know the direction.
This
so it's like
seems like a good thing.
it's a compass that points to the nearest hostile creatures.
Evil.
It might be us, depending on how much you keep going on about those kids.
Yeah, Krong. It's just it could even sense the presence of ethereal, invisible, disguised, hidden, as well as those in plain sight. Why would you use the wand if there's hostile creatures in plain sight?
Does it light them up? Can you see them then, or you just know they're in some direction?
It just it points in them. It points in the direction.
I see. So it's a dowsing rod for.
It's a dowsing rod for evil.
This would be
evil or enemies?
Enemies.
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 I'm sorry.
So creatures that are hostile to you, which could be possibly angels now that you've freed a demon. So you know
they don't need to know about it. Don't tell them.
Way to pick sides in the Great War, is what I'm saying.
I think if we ask for forgiveness, it's all good.
The wand of enemy detection has 7 charges. Every morning at dawn, it regains several charges. If you use up all the charges, there's a chance that it disintegrates. You should probably decide this is a powerful object that you picked up in this adventure. It requires attunement, but I think theoretically,
It takes an hour.
any creature could use this.
I mean, a short rest for an hour might not be a bad idea, so we could use some hit dice before we open up a water-surrounded tomb.
Mm,
It's a good
that
idea.
seems wise.
Yeah.
And then somebody Kron can attune to his wand of eneminess.
Unless you want to give it to
alright.
somebody else.
I'm happy to. If anyone's really desperate for it, I'm happy to.
I'm very wise, as just been proven.
I don't
once.
think that has anything to do with the use of this item.
I would say, for lack of anything else, Krong kind of probably has the most claim to it. Krong was the one who led the charge on
Good
freeing a
lord.
demon forever.
Good
Mhm.
lord.
Yeah, he's
I
the one
mean,
who
I
gets the
helped.
blame in this
But I don't
history.
really care for wands, so.
Should we
All right.
invoke?
Do
should
you
we ask
guys
Krong
think
to-
all demons are evil just because of their being demons? Do you think everybody from the 9 hells is evil? And I just go on like that for the entire short rest.
Sure. I'm actually
fall asleep.
listening it intently. Interesting.
I fell asleep.
I have never really thought about it. Now I'm thinking about it.
And another thing, the word humanoid, very human-centric if you ask me.
Well, humans came up with it. What can you do?
Yeah, I don't think humans are even a race. You notice you get half elves and half orcs? I think humans are just everybody kind of mixed together. That's why they're so generic and boring.
Non-orcs. We should just call them non-orcs or non-elves.
Well, they're
Nuns.
half humans usually, but we don't call them that, do we?
Norks?
Norks. And
Where's
so the
half
hour
elf, half orc?
passes tensely as people are not sure what to do about Krong.
Krong has a tight 15 about humans. He likes to.
But it takes 45 minutes this time.
I'm rolling a hit dice because I am down.
All right.
And I suggest maybe
Carrocon, I will point out, you are indeed, as Ray's diagnosed you, you are cursed. This is pretty bad as you continue to just hear the sounds of crying children constantly.
I'm getting used to it a little bit, but
I think it's somewhat maddening, especially because none of your allies seem to be able to hear it. It's unsettling.
do you think is any of my allies particularly good?
Can I?
Reid-Quarrell?
I mean, I know I did crappy on my original check about that, but is there something else I can do? I feel like I would
if
know.
indeed he is cursed, removing a curse is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, the demon did tell me that. It was very nice of him to be clearly honest. You know, there's something about a curse when you know you're cursed and the voices aren't just in your head. It makes it all a little easier.
Is
Well, I
it
mean,
all
they're
one
still just in
voice?
your head.
Can you distinguish like individual children?
Tiny chorus of children singing out of tune.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's pretty
Ugh.
bad. They're singing Christmas carols. I'm sorry.
As they're being tortured.
Eldritch carols.
I
Yeah.
don't
right,
think we have
hold on.
Christmas.
Yeah, can we hear a few Eldritch carols where everyone sings them via Zoom?
Deck the halls
Slight-
of terror with glory That is much better. Much
Apparently
better
we
than I
hate our
did.
listeners.
Well, this episode's going out at Christmas.
Yeah.
It may.
This is Halloween. This
Uh.
is Halloween.
Oh, I kind of like that one.
Well, at least the children are in tune.
Can't wait for the big
I'm back,
cliffhanger
I'm
of
back
this
to full
episode.
health.
That's
And so you
I'm trying to push us through.
and so, yeah, and so you rest peacefully for an hour while children sing inside Carrocon's head, while Krog rails against the human-centric nature of Dungeons and Dragons vocabulary, a game probably created by humans, let's be fair. But some of you spend hit dice and are feeling a little bit ready. Marlon Whitesparrow is impatient. He's like, the crown, it has to be in there. We're so close.
Krong, you want to use your wand and find out where our nearest enemy is?
Now that it's attuned, I sure do.
All right,
I
Krong,
s-
what is the magic word that activates the
Going
wand
to
of enemy detection? You get to decide.
Okay, I'm going to stand there so that if any of these statues are the enemy, I will be able to tell the difference. I have to make up a magic word now. Portrait.
All right, but say it in your Krong voice, please.
I hold the wand aloft and say, portrait.
All right. The wand kind of, you spin as the wand like is moving like a dowsing rod as you're holding it out, as you get tugged in several directions, but then it points right at the mausoleum, and as if you have activated, a horrible ghostly presence kind of seeps through the front of the mausoleum.
Ghost.
Yeah, Marlon Whitesparrow says, "Look, it's my great grandfather,
Turn
Lord
undead.
Lavendus Whitesparrow."
Great.
But who takes the form of a horrible ghost. He is an ancient looking man. You can only really see like the top half of him, kind of below his torso. There's just kind of like wispy green stuff, and he is
maybe he's
looking
a
at you with
genie.
empty, evil eyes that seem intent on doing you harm. He screams, "Knights!" and 6 skeletons pour out of the walls around you.
I found the enemy, guys.
I think Reid-Quarrell is going to start off our next combat with turning undead.
Oh, yeah.
Will turning undead make quick work of these? What happens when you turn undead on the ancestor of the person who paid you to go on this quest to begin with? If they all die here in a tomb, will that be really convenient? It seems convenient. What a savings. And will anything happen to Krong or other people in the world because you just released a demon that had been imprisoned for centuries beneath Whitesparrow Keep? Seems like that should have some effect on something. For answers to some of these questions, but definitely not all of them, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.